My little one, I don't work here. I know this sub is full of entitled idiots, but I wanted to share a nice interaction of IDWH. I hit bullseye to pick up a few things after work. I was wearing a red t-shirt with white writing saying NECA and a mask with kitty nose and whiskers, so it's not surprising that I was mistaken for a worker. When I approached the self-checkout, there was a mom with 3 kids next to me. One of the little girls started conversation with, "I like your mask. Do you work here? Do you like cats?" Me, I do like cats. I have cats and help rescue kitties without homes, but I don't work here. Her mom was trying to shush her, but I wasn't bothered. My youngest is now almost 18. Chatty little ones generally don't bother me. "Little one, where do you work? You look like you work here. It must be fun if you can wear key masks. I want to do it." Me, I'm an electrician. She installs lights. Me, I do more than that. I also run wires to help the pixies get to the lights to turn them on. I do think it's fun. Little one, pixies, can I do it? Me, you can do anything your little self wants to do when you grow up. We all finish at the same time and head out. I hear her yelling from about 75 feet away over loud cars, really good lungs. "Little one, by cat lady, thank you for being my friend." Me, thank you for being my friend too. I drove home smiling. Edit, thank you for the award. Edit 2 multi-awards. Ribbert is trying to figure out why I'm blushing, so thank you so much.
Even if I did work here, I wouldn't help you, lady. So nearly every time I go into a little store in my work clothes, which are black work pants, are company branded, not little, t-shirt and usually a company branded high-vis vest, I get stopped by some lady asking me where something is. So one day I'm in the store and I'm minding my own business, walking around with a shopping trolley buying some bits. I hear this lady shouting, "Excuse me," at me from behind, but I ignore her because I had a feeling she was under the impression I worked there and I didn't want to deal with that. After a couple of times of her calling for me, I turn around to a furious-looking woman who proceeds to tell me, "You don't have any frozen peas." I looked at her confused and say, "Yes, I know," which seemed to enrage her further. And she asks, "Well, why not?" I was like, "Because I don't work here." So instead of her apologizing, she mutters what I believe was "for fuck's sake," and walks over to her husband, and I hear her angrily say to him, "He doesn't have any frozen peas and he doesn't even work." I feel for anyone who has to deal with the general public on a day-to-day basis, but I'm so glad I don't have to anymore.
Do I even work here? No, I don't. Earlier this year, I was in a pharmacy that was having a sale on makeup with all the sale items together on one table. I had an armful of products and was searching through the rest for particular colors, moving things around, putting some things back when I found something I liked better, etc. A woman who was part of a middle-aged couple came into my aisle and stood a few displays away behind me, complaining to her partner about the pharmacy and how she couldn't find something. I was focused on what I was doing, so I wasn't really listening to their conversation. My brain just registering some kind of sarcastic white noise that was getting increasingly louder and more passive-aggressive. Her partner was quietly trying to hush her as she continued to exaggerate sigh and moan to him about how terrible the employees were in the pharmacy, that gosh, she needed help. Even though from the time she'd walked into the aisle, she had just stood there and never attempted to go find an employee or whatever it was she was after. Finally, she very loudly and exasperatively bellows, "Does she even work here?" I was startled by the outburst and turned around to look at her, finding her looking shocked and turning red, because that was the exact moment she realized that no, I didn't work there and wasn't some employee ignoring her. And also the moment I realized the whole 2 minutes or so of sighing and nasty comments were actually aimed at me. She flusteredly grabbed her partner's arm and marched past me without making eye contact, still complaining about the pharmacy and its terrible service, though now in the erratic tone of someone trying to convince themselves they hadn't just done something embarrassing. I was dressed in all black, not anything like the employee uniform, but not out of the realm of possibility that I could work there, and I can understand how she might have thought I was restocking or sorting the sale table. But what a way to go about it instead of just asking, "Excuse me, do you work here?"
Angry man freaks out when he has to pay a ticket that I had nothing to do with. A little bit of background information. This happened a few weeks ago, but I just found this subreddit, and I thought this story worked perfectly for here. I work as a tourism counselor in a small town in Canada situated near a national park. We share a building with Parks Canada so that they can provide information about the park, and we can give information about the town. National parks have an admission fee, and if you don't pay the admission fee, you receive a reminder that you need to pay. If you do not pay, then the reminder turns into a ticket, gets sent to a collection agency, and you have to pay a larger fine. I am able to deal with these tickets at my desk in case of it getting too busy at the park's desk. This does not mean I have anything to do with these tickets. Let the story begin. It is 5 minutes before closing, and I am getting ready to shut down, when a clearly distraught man comes storming up to the door holding a ticket in his hand. He gets to the door and realizes he does not have a mask still required in Canada at the time. He goes back to his truck to get a mask, and doesn't even put it on when he enters. My desk and the Parks Canada desk are situated across the room from each other, and Parks Canada's desk is closest to the door, so typically people will go to the Parks desk first. But of course, since I'm writing about this now, this gentleman came storming right up to my desk yelling about his ticket. When he gets to my desk, he throws his ticket at my face, which ends up being a critical hit and leaves me at low HP. He then proceeds to let me know that he was going to throw the ticket out, but his girlfriend had convinced him to pay the fee. Keep in mind, this fee is only $10. I ask him the required questions so I can charge him the correct amount, and he starts yelling, saying, "I've been coming to this park for 15 years, and I've never had to pay an admission fee. This is bull." He asks how long we have been charging people to enter national parks, and I lean over so I can see the person at the parks desk who should be dealing with this lunatic and ask her how long. 1984, she says. This nice gentleman decides that me and the woman working at the parks desk are lying about this and gets fed up. After yelling at me a little while longer about how stupid I am and how I shouldn't be working this job, he throws a $10 bill at my face, draining the last bit of HP I had, and storms off. The woman working at the parks desk proceeded to thank me profusely for dealing with him, as she should have been the one dealing with him.
Someone thought I worked at McDonald's. Warning, I'm on mobile. This happened years ago when I worked at Taco Bell. So it had been a long day, and I finally got my lunch break and decided to walk across the street from McDonald's instead, 'cause I ate Taco Bell all the time, and obviously wanted something different. I'm wearing a very loud Taco Bell uniform shirt and a visor that says Taco Bell on it. I go up and order my food and sit down to eat. This is when some Karen a few tables down started venting to her friend that it's unacceptable that they let the workers eat at the tables with the customers. This goes on for a while, and I'm trying to ignore her, but I can tell she's working herself up. Then she walks up to me. "Oh, boy." "Karen, excuse me. Why are you eating here?" "Me, it's my lunch break." "Karen, you should be eating in the back of the kitchen where you belong. It's disrespectful to the customers, and you're taking up tables they could be eating at." Me looks around, kinda confused 'cause the place isn't close to full. "What do you mean?" Karen, getting exasperated. "Look, just eat in the back with the rest of the McDonald's employees." Me turns visor to her so she can see that I'm from Taco Bell, not McDonald's. "I don't work here, lady, and you're rude as hell." Karen turns white and skitters back to her table, grabs her food, and leaves. Maybe next time she won't make a spectacle of herself.
My town's McDonald's changed their number, and we keep getting angry messages and calls from customers. Okay, so basically, our local McDonald's changed their number, and my father ended up with their old one after getting a new phone for some terrible bad luck. Every day, there are thousands of angry messages of unhappy customers. At first, it was hilarious. Hear these people rant and rant, and then tell them that this isn't even the correct number. Some people would pull the do your job and don't lie, this is McDonald's number. I know, but we just ignored those. Now, I'm starting to feel bad for everyone. My local McDonald's does such a bad job at delivering the correct orders that we get multiple texts per day. Why the fuck do they even need their orders if they're going to deliver whatever they want anyways? This is one of the reasons Wendy's is superior. Tough luck, the only thing we got in my town is the old, crappy, bad with clients McDonald's. And at 10/7/2021, Dad got McDonald's real number, texted them about the confusion, and told them to change it. One of the days went by and we still got texts, so Dad just changed the number. Good riddance to whoever gets it next.
Did you recognize all of the voices? Leave your guesses in the comments.